can see how it's starting to rise a little bit. It's only What's up, YouTube? Here we go with another apple video. Now this one is going to be a quick apple dessert. As you can see, it's going to consist of some old donuts. Now, they're not moldy by any means, they're just starting to get a little hard, which is the perfect thing for this ingredient. And then you also saw in the last video, you saw me make this big pot of spiced apples. So we're going to use a bunch of those. So you need spiced apples for this recipe. Now, you can use the canned spiced apples, that's fine. But this recipe I'm calling, this is just something that popped into my head. This is a leftover donut and spiced apple bread pudding. Yeah, so this is a donut bread pudding type thing. So for this, all you're going to need is a bunch of leftover donuts, a big pot of apples, some vanilla, some milk. I'm using whole milk. Normally I get this from Royal Crest Dairy, but I didn't have it ordered in time. You're going to need about 6 eggs, roughly. Those are from my chickens. A good-sized casserole dish, a big bowl to mix everything in, and a good whisk. So, let me get everything organized, and we'll start this project. Recipe. Whatever. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is to cut up a bunch of these donuts. Now, you don't want to go too big. See, they're not super hard. I just needed to do something with them before they became too hard. But this recipe will be perfect for it. So you just want to cut it up into chunks like that. Just like that. Now, not quite sure how many I'm going to do, but I'm going to cut up the rest of these donuts. As you see here, just decent chunks. And then I will show you the next step when I have all these cut up. Okay, I've chopped up all those donuts. Now we are going to transfer them to a big bowl, because now we are going to stir in some of the spiced apples that I made in the last video, in the part 3 video, because this will be part 4. But for now, let's mix this. Okay, that looks pretty good mix. So let's put it back in the casserole dish. I know what you're thinking, it's not going to fit. But once you add the custardy type mix, it'll all squish down and meld together. You just kind of want to pack it all into the casserole dish too. Just give it a little push. So it's all packed in there. See, we got it all in there. Let's try and get it as even layer as possible, so that way the custard mix gets all to everything. So there we go. Let me wash my hands now, and we'll do the next step. Okay, as you can tell, I've got about 6 eggs. Yeah, 6 eggs in the bowl. Now you can tell that these eggs are from my chickens by how yellow the yolk is. Hopefully you can see that. I don't have the greatest lighting in here. But yeah, that is due to the fresh grass I give them and all the corn I feed them. Now, if you want to see where I get the corn from, go back on my videos and check out Corn Day. You'll see where I get my corn from. But for now, we'll get back to this. We are going to give these eggs a really good whisk, and then I'll show you the next process. So the next thing is to add some vanilla. Now you don't have to add vanilla. I just thought it would be good in this recipe. Now I'm going to add, now again, I don't measure very well. It's just, I tend to eyeball things and they tend to be right. So I'm just going to add about a tablespoonful. About that much. Whisk that into the eggs. Okay, we got those nice and frothy. Now let's add the milk. Now again, I'm not going to measure, but I am going to use about 3 cups worth. Now I am using whole milk for this. Now if you don't want to use whole milk and you want to use 2% or fat-free or half and half or even almond milk, you can use any sort of milk you want with this recipe. It'll work out just fine. It just needs to be a custard type mixture. So let's give this a whisk, and we're almost done. Okay, the last step for now, because this will have to sit for a bit, is to try and evenly pour this over the apples. Keyword, try. Without making a mess. You know what? I'm going to use this little scoop instead. I'm going to use this scoop to help pour it over because I kind of don't want to make a mess. You just want to try and coat all the donuts so they soak up a lot of the egg mixture. Okay, we got all that egg mixture in there. As you can see, sorry, hit the camera. Now, just gonna give this all a little push down. Make sure it's all compacted in there, because we want the donuts to soak up as much of that milk, egg, custard mixture as possible. I'm calling it a custard. It's probably not. This is just a recipe off the top of my head. I've never done it before, so hopefully this comes out good. If you're seeing this video, it must have come out good. If you don't see this video, then I must have erased it. So we've got that all pressed down nicely. Now we're going to let this sit in the fridge for a couple of hours for the donuts to really soak up all that egg mixture. And when we come back, we'll check it, see how much the egg mixture has been soaked up, and then after that, we'll stick it in the oven at like 350 for probably about a half an hour. I'm not quite sure, but so we'll be back in a couple hours to show you the almost finished product before we stick it in the oven. Okay, it's been about 3 hours or so now, and as you can see, most of the liquid has been absorbed by the donuts, which is what we wanted. So now I'm just going to sprinkle some regular sugar across the top. Yeah, I probably could have put sugar in the custard mixture, but with the sugar that's already in the apples and the sugar that's on the donuts, I didn't think I needed that much more sugar, but I do want a little sugar crust across the top. Now you don't have to do this part, it's just something I'd like to do. So I'm just going to sprinkle this across the top. Just like that. Now the oven is at 350 degrees. We are going to put it in for about 20 to 30 minutes. At least until it looks like it's all cooked together. Look like one not solid, but one piece, not so wet is what I'm trying to say. And maybe get a little brown on the top. Gotta be careful because it's so much sugar that it'll burn easily. So I'm going to put this in the oven and I will show you the finished product when it's done. You can see how it's starting to rise a little bit. It's only been in for about 10 minutes. It's starting to rise. You see how it's still a little wobbly? It's not quite done yet. So we're going to leave it in for another 10-20 minutes and I'll show you when I get back. Okay, here is the finished product of the donut and spiced apple bread pudding. Just one more thing I like to do with a big box of apples. Now, it was bubbled up a lot higher. It will settle and sink, but that's okay, just as long as it tastes good. This was in for about an hour because I made it so thick. Now, it was at 350 for an hour. Did get a little darker than I wanted, but it's okay. It still looks good. It still looks tasty. I'm going to take this over to my aunt's house for family dinner night after we go do a window visit with my granddad at his home. So hopefully this will taste good. But before I do that, I'll give you guys a taste and see if you like it. Look, even Daisy wants to try some. But first, I'll let you guys try some. Okay, I got you a nice little bowl of it. So, I got you a little bit of the donut and some apples with it. So how about a bite? Here you go. So what do you think? I know that was a big mouthful, but I hope you liked it. So thanks for watching Just What I Do Today. I hope you enjoyed this video on doughnut bread pudding. Just one more thing I like to do with a big box of apples. So stay tuned for some more apple videos. I think there's about 2 more. And then also stay tuned for more vacation trips. Those are always my Friday videos. We're going to go up as long as we can until the weather won't let us anymore. So you'll even see Indy Highway, Indy Pass, whatever you want to call it, in the snow. You'll get to see what it looks like up there in the snow. And with the leaves changing and everything, I'll show you all that later. So thanks for watching Just What I Do today. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get at least 100 subscribers by the end of the year. So what my goal is. It's not as easy as you think. So please subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I post. I post twice a week. I post on Tuesdays and Fridays. So hit that like button too. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, that like button, whatever you want to call it. And thanks for watching Just What I Do. And I'll catch you next time. Thanks.